You know life has its ups and downs. Turn your pretty face to an ugly frown. Seems that when I fix one thing,
Hello, welcome back to The Awakening. I'm your host, Angela Brown. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about hair loss. And there's probably 1 in 5 people walking around with hair loss. And my guest today is Violet Demao. She happens to have been chosen one of the 5 top hair replacement people in the country.
That's right.
That's
yes.
right. Good girl.
Yeah.
So sit back for the next 30 minutes and learn everything you can, even learn how you can become more beautiful. Welcome.
Thank you, Angie. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you. And also, I'm glad that you're bringing awareness to this problem that has been so much more ever growing because there are at least 50 to 80 million persons who are experiencing hair loss, and as you said, 1 out of every 4 or 5 women, and they're looking for solutions and things that they can do. I know recently, well, not too long ago, I saw a movie about good hair, and I thought it was the funniest thing I had ever seen, but at the same time, for a person who's really suffering with hair loss,
it's not funny.
It's not a laughing matter, and that is the very reason that people aren't seeking some type of solution, because they think that those are the types of solutions available, whereas I'm here to at least let you know that is not the only type of solution.
Okay.
What we do is we provide hair prosthetics, which is just like any other type of prosthetic for the body. It closely matches what you once had. And so therefore, it's not just a thick wig or whatever that's put on you. It's different from what you just buy off the shelf.
Okay. And what you were chosen 1 out of 5? One of the 5th? You go ahead and tell me what you were chosen for. Come on.
Well, the National Hair Society is the group that really monitors us, and because I am a trichologist as well.
Explain to the viewers too, what is a trichologist?
Well, a trichologist looks at the hair from more of a scientific point of view. I am a cosmetologist as well, but now people with hair problems and scalp problems, they're looking to your cosmetologist, your stylist for answers, and a lot of times people are trained just for styling the hair, and if you have some type of problem, say as a seborrheic dermatitis or something like that, most people are not trained to treat it. Once upon a time, though, dermatologists were able to go into depth what you need to do with your hair and so forth, but now with lawsuits and so forth, the dermatologist basically writes a prescription and it stops right there. So I am, let's say, somewhere in between a cosmetologist and a dermatologist, and I work more from a scientific point of view. So if you have a problem with your scalp, some type of disorder, and I do want to say that I am not trained to diagnose any type of disease, but if it's a hair or scalp disorder, yes, I can diagnose and treat that, and have done for many years very successfully. And then when all else fails, for persons who have probably genetic problems with hair loss.
How about in the family, if the mom has it or the dad has it, can you pass it on to your children?
That is a scalp disorder or
a
hair
scalp
loss.
disorder, which will cause hair loss.
A lot of times, yes. But a lot of times these scalp disorders arrive from just a lot of hair myths that we have adhered to over the years, using too much product, using too much of the wrong product.
Like bleaching the hair and dyeing the hair.
more so of using grease on the scalp.
Really?
Yes, and that is something that years ago people don't even know why we do it, and all they know is let me just grease my scalp and part it and grease it and part it and grease it, and then over time that builds up and builds up, and your body, the scalp recognizes it as a foreign particle, foreign matter.
Okay.
And then it builds up, and then it starts, the synthetic form starts to slough off. And then at some point, your scalp, the hair cells are going to start reacting. And then that's when you start getting a lot of buildup, and people get a little scaly. This is beyond dandruff. This is,
Really?
yes, much
So it's
worse.
not a good idea to keep a lot of Vaseline or something like that on your head?
Oh, absolutely not. Never Vaseline if you're to put anything on. But then, you see, it's not as simple as just stop. If you do stop, you know, because then a person said, well, my scalp itches. What do I do about
Scratch it.
Shampoo it, okay?
Okay.
And at this point in time, if it has gotten to the point where it's flaking and it's built up on the scalp so thick and heavy, then it requires special attention.
Okay.
And that attention is usually through the type of shampoo. And then there are other myths that we've been doing over the years, but that's basically what a trichologist will address. And nowadays, the dermatologist just can't take the time to go through that as they once did years ago.
But I want you to talk about being one of the top 5.
Well, I'll tell you how that came about. The National Hair Society called me because my name kept coming up and was being referred because I have been traveled over the country to consult other hair replacement specialists. This hair replacement is a special field, and if you don't know what you're doing, it could be very detrimental to the person having it done.
Okay.
And this isn't just where I'm talking about a person throws a lace wig on your head or
and pulls the hair through the hole.
yeah, or integration in that case, or weave or something like that. There are a lot of products and things that are used that the person should be very, very well trained in. And that is what I am. I've had a lot of extensive training. And I was taught by the best.
Okay.
So I have been called on to consult and on a lot of things and so forth. And then the National Hair Society gave me the dubious honor of being the Eastern region ambassador.
That's wonderful.
There are 5 of us, and they chose the top 5 in the country.
You chose you as number 1 then, huh?
And I was chosen as one.
As one, okay.
Yes, as one of the 5.
That's
yes.
fabulous. That's fabulous. Should we tell the viewers how we met?
Yeah.
I saw an advertisement of yours, and I thought because a lot of women always tell me on shows I should do. And I mean, I could be in Walmart, I could be anywhere. Do a show on hair.
Yeah.
So I said,
Yes,
okay, I'll
yes.
check around. And then I found you.
Yeah, I'm
And
so
I
glad you
trusted you on the
did.
phone by your voice. And I'm a real good person like that. I can figure out people just by their voice.
Yeah,
So you didn't sound like a charlatan to me.
Oh.
You sounded like
Thanks.
someone who knew what she was doing. She was gutsy. And you want to show some of
Thank
the
you.
pictures that you brought along today?
Yeah, please.
Let's show
do
some
that.
of the photos. There you go. Oh, there's one of them right there. That's when you're just getting started?
Okay, that there is the typical androgenetic alopecia, and this is the very typical amongst a lot of women.
This is a lady? This is a lady's
This is
picture?
a woman,
Okay.
yes. And it's called, typically it's called female pattern hair loss or male pattern baldness.
Okay.
And whereas men will go ahead and just shave the rest of their hair.
Yes.
And
But there's so many. There's another one there.
and that's the after.
After you-
that's
from her head
that's
till
the
now.
same person, and this is the after. Yes. And what I want to point out here is that the difference between what I do here than what you just get off the shelf. This is a partial hair unit. This isn't a full wig. This and it's blended with the person's own natural hair. I try to use as much of the person's own natural hair as possible because that's my primary concern, the person's own natural hair. And once that's healthy, then I will design and have manufactured a unit, I call, to match the exact hair type, texture, the density, the color, and then I'll have a certain type of cap of a certain type of material, and it can be adhered to the scalp, it can to the hair, or what have you. But you don't have to, like a hair piece or something, hold it and comb it.
There's another picture there too.
Yes, this is another person. She has a similar problem, the same female pattern hair loss. And she wears a unit. You'll see the after in just a moment. And
oh yes.
yeah, that's her after.
And she can comb that herself.
Yeah, she can comb
and wash it,
shampoo it. Everything that you do to your own natural hair, you do to this. You know, the same texture and everything.
That is remarkable.
So,
and that's another lady.
And that's why I said, now, this person is about in her 80s.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
she is wearing a unit. And so most people would say to me, well, why is it so thin? It's not that it's so thin. This is what her hair looked like before she lost it, okay?
Oh, okay. So, and as she wanted it back, I'm sure the same way.
So, yes. So, and it was this thin before she lost it totally. Instead of putting a complete full head of hair on her head, it's not realistic.
No, it's not. Because it would make her look fakey, and she probably wouldn't like it.
She would not like it at all.
And that's
what stops a lot of people from seeking some type of solution because they're so used to seeing the things that don't look real anyway. So they just think, oh, the heck with it, you know. My hair looks better without.
Yeah, that's true.
What most people would.
Now, do you have to, it's not like plugs. I wanted to ask you about that. It's not like plugs at all.
No, it is not. That's a surgical method. Although some people can use this in conjunction while they're going through the hair plugs. If they're a good candidate for hair plugs, then by all means, I recommend it. And while they're going through it, they can use some type of hair replacement while they're going through that.
Who do you have most, women or men, clients?
I have mostly women, but I do have quite a few men. This is no longer the toupee that used to be available to men years and years ago. They have technology has made it so this is perfected to the point of the naked eye cannot tell at all. Absolutely. But you do need a good technician who does this as well. And I have seen
not somebody to take one and fill it full of glue and put it on your head.
Well, no, you want to make certain that the person is I can't stress this enough.
Training.
You want to make sure the person is very well trained in this field. And not only that, a person does need to have some sort of natural skill for this. To me, it's sort of like just like an artist can draw, a person who can sing or something. You need to have some type of natural ability. It's like a blank canvas for me when I see a person with their hair, and I can do all sorts of things I know to it. I deal directly with manufacturers, so I design and have the hair prosthetic made exactly the way I want it to be.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, let's see. I started fooling around with it back in 1995. And at that time, I had a few beauty supply stores. And I always wanted to look for the best for my customers.
Because we deserve the best.